I remember a time when all this was field. Boys were gentlemen, girls were ladies, and the man could travel to the four corners of the globe in the name of king and country. War Thunder is a free-to-play game with microtransactions, brought to you by Gaijin Entertainment, a Russian-based company who've been extremely busy in recent years making quite a few games. One recent addition is Star Conflict. The game uses the Degor engine and plays a lot like Star Conflict, but instead of buzzing around space, you're blowing the fuck out of people in China, Russia, Europe, or Korea. Of course, human existence is defined by who won what, who's better than who, and my dad could beat up your dad. And so I started playing for the home team, starting each battle with my own little jaunty English expression, and taking in a British mentality to every battle. So the game is a flight combat simulator, in which you enter into a series of aerial battles and skirmishes on a PvP basis. It might take you some time to get into the game, but after only a couple of battles, War Thunder will have you hooked. There is nothing groundbreaking about the gameplay, and if anything, it's just a multiplayer version of any flight simulator combattery style game, with a new lick of paint and the ability to fly by your mates whilst giving them the finger. But Jesus Christ, what a paint job Gaijin have done for War Thunder. The landscapes are vast and yet not empty, with luscious design for each level. I think a solitary tear rolled down my face the first time I played the snow-covered mountain mission, and so I stopped for a second and admired the scenery, before I checked that I had a pair and ran headlong into the heat of battle. War Thunder is still in beta at the moment, so we only have access to the Air Force in the game, probably because the engine was already wrote and only needed some tweaking, but it appears at some point you'll be able to have access to the Army and Navy. Though from my experience playing War Thunder, everything you could possibly want to do, you can do in the Air Force. We have a range of aircraft from little biplanes and fighters up to the heavy bombers and everything in between. The game does feel, although it favours the fighter plane style of gameplay. I myself though wanted to be a bomber, and I found it ridiculously hard to bomb at high altitudes, and so I ended up giving Lady Britannia a swift kiss as I clambered out of her bedroom window in order to sign up for some Nazi genocidal antics. This was firstly because I wanted to try being the bad guys for once, and secondly, their first tier bomber plane had the ability to hold a larger payload than the whole of Starfleet Command, allowing me to drop more bombs than there are chickens in KFC. It does take a little bit of levelling in the game, but thankfully I decided to take a little fast track option. This allows players to exchange in-game currency for XP. The problem is I'm now 60 something golden eagles down, and the only way I can find to get them back is to buy them with my non-existent bank account. So f*** that. The game is extremely fun to play, especially at the beginning where everyone has the same biplanes, though I feel later in the game I was about as much use in a dogfight as bangers in mash. So why not give War Thunder a look? It's free to play and will provide you with a good few hours of fun, and let's face it, you've watched enough porn for one day. All guns blazing, and then cries when nobody helps him up from rushing headlong into a group of armed police officers.